if all you know is their address and what they look like.
Right. Yeah. What are you going to do? Right. So you say, okay, perfect. I can follow. Do you mind if I follow up with you tomorrow or later this week or whatever? And they say, sure. Great. Let me get your number. So we're going to put in their information, right? This is now, imagine this is on your phone. Okay. So this is on your phone. It looks just like this. You're going to put in their address, right? And we'll just say, okay. Now we have two options. We can set the, if we're able to set the appointment right then, great, we're gonna set it right then, okay? Now, if they're not ready to set an appointment, we're just gonna send them our digital business card, okay? So step one, send them the digital business card. Hit submit, it puts me into the system, and then it thanks it and it resets. Now I'm ready to go to the next door, right? So now at this point I can say, thank you so much, I'll follow up with you. And I go on to the next door, right? Now, once I've gone on to the next door, the system's gonna go to work for me following up with that lead. So if I come into the system, you're gonna see here first, I'm gonna go to my contacts. You're gonna see here first, now I'm in the system right here at the top, okay? But what's really cool is that if you come to your pipeline, and you're gonna see your pipeline, and now you're gonna see me in here, right here. So I'm now in this first stage, new lead, okay? Now, I can message this, I just got the text message, so if I click on this, I can see the text message conversation. You'll have to bear with me when Zoom's running, this runs a little bit slow. Okay, so check it out.
Oh, nice.
Right here, the text message went out. I'll follow up with you tomorrow if I don't hear from you first. So this is my digital business card that goes to the client, right? Now, if I go into the contact, you can see here that there is a scheduled follow-up message for today and for tomorrow. And then it's gonna go into another follow-up campaign that's gonna continue to drip on them until they respond. So you're automatically following up with all of your door leads constantly. Imagine if all of your sales guys had perfect follow-up, how many more sales you would get, right? So in this case, every single lead you capture on the door is going to go into a funnel and it's going to continue to nurture them until they respond. Now, if I respond to that message,
who's that handsome guy, by the way?
That's Ben Menchaca. If you don't know who he is the king of he's the king of door knocking. Good friend of mine, awesome dude. So if we go, so then if I respond and say, hey, let's talk, you know, that's going to show up right here. Yeah, there we go. So just like a normal text message conversation, I can now cool, how's tomorrow? You know,
and on the mobile app,
and I can be doing this from my app, right? So all of this follow-up is happening, and then I'm being triggered when they respond. So you'd be surprised, my sales guys, they have leads from like 6 months ago that are in a follow-up campaign that are getting text messages like once a month, once every couple months. And all the time they'll get a message back that says, oh yeah, you know what, I've been meaning to do this, let's chat, you know? And it's like, the fortune, you know, it really is in the follow-up, but if you're not doing it, it's not going to do anything for you, you know?
And the funniest thing, I mean, going back to that, like, guys, when I have had some text message sequences and stuff, and it's been complicated the way I've had to set it up, so I was pumped when I got to talk to Ryan. But it'd be 6 weeks later, 8 weeks later after someone fill out a Facebook form, and then they'd be like, all right, let's schedule it. So,
yeah,
like, that would be after ringless voicemails, that would be after 6 text messages, and then all of a sudden they're ready. So don't underestimate it. A lot of people, it's easy to, if you're manually following up and your emotions are involved, and every time they don't respond, you just like, it sucks. But most of the time people are impressed. And if they're not impressed, they're gonna say, hey, I'm really not interested, but thanks for following.
Yeah, and then you opt out. Yeah,
Fine.
And it's really easy. They can opt out. Yep. If they say go F yourself or something, you can just turn it off and it won't text them anymore. What's really cool too is we've created smart campaigns, okay? So what I mean by that is if you're in a sequence, let's say you're in a sequence, Brad, that's a 14-day follow-up campaign.
Mhm.
And on day 7, you respond and say, yeah, I want to get started. My system will recognize that, and it won't continue to drip those other 7 days of messages on you, because it's accomplished. The campaign has accomplished its task of getting you to respond and book an appointment. Now it's going to move you into an appointment campaign that is going to send you out appointment reminders leading up to your appointment, so that you get a higher sit rate at your appointments. What's cool is when we do book an appointment, we send out more information about the tech. We say, hey, this is the guy that's going to be there. It makes people feel comfortable about them coming to their house, or you can do, obviously virtual appointments. But the whole idea is that, you're really warming up this client, so that when you get to sit down with them at the appointment, it's not this new thing. You're not a new person. You're much further along down the sales process than if you just have them book an appointment online and then just show up to their house, So, so when you're in the pipelines, they're moving automatically from column to column based on their actions. Now, if you're on the phone with them and something happens, like say, hey, schedule the appointment over the phone, you can manually move them right here into appointment booked, right? So just take them over, and that trigger,
like, get you to
that. Yeah, we can set the appointment right here, and then we'd edit the contact, set the appointment, and then we'd drag it over to appointment booked, and it would start everything for you. Yeah. And then you. What's that?
Can I interject real quick?
Go for it.
So for whoever's watching, I want you to think about this, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to ask Ryan, and y'all can comment down there. What do you think is the general view of roofing contractors and just contractors in general? Is it that they're just completely on their stuff, or is it maybe that they're going to run late, they're going to forget to follow up, they're not going to show up to the appointment, this and that? Like, a lot of the time the view is they're kind of all over the place, and a lot of the time they are. So this automatically puts you above, just the appointment reminders alone put you above a lot of your competition, especially salesmen dealing with it and it's not already in a pipeline. Because as a salesman, if you, a lot of the time, you're probably just on the phone with them and then showing up whenever the agreed upon time is. But if you have this software, you can have things dialed in to where you having a bad day or you being busy, they're not missing anything because of what's going on in your life. They're getting the same experience every time, which is what they need to build trust. That goes into my other stuff, like trust funnel, making sure you have an ironed out sales process, all that. But sorry, I just think it's worth it.
It doesn't take much to beat a lot of your competition just by looking a little more organized.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, roofers have done a pretty good job of being all over the place as far as who, it's a crazy industry. There's a lot of really professional roofers. There's a lot of just really unprofessional roofers. It's very easy
where anybody can be a roofer. They can just wake up and be like, oh, I'm a roofing contractor now. So
Yep. Yeah, so taking systems and being more organized is your way to differentiate yourself and show, hey, I'm a serious business person. This is the entire process is fully organized, and we'll take you through the whole thing. And they're going to really appreciate that. Now, in addition, so this pipeline builder, this is completely customizable to however your deal flow works or however your business works. This whole thing is completely customizable. And at each stage, we can trigger things to happen. So if they move into this funnel or if they move into this column, we can send out emails, text messages, whatever is set to send out at that one. What's really cool is our review campaigns. So a lot of people, they give up once the sale's done, that's done. They don't contact their customer anymore, and they just hope for a good review online. We've been able to boost our customers' reviews by like 10x. We had a company that had 2 reviews over 6 years because they never asked for reviews. They never did anything about reviews. They got 2 reviews over 6 years. And then when they switched to us, within 6 months, they were over 50 reviews. we went back and we emailed or we texted past clients to get reviews, and then we started a review campaign that the moment that the job complete is submitted, whether that's in here or on your in your CRM, it can trigger it to happen over here. So let's say you're in job progress or job nimbus or whatever, and you click, job complete, whatever the finish is, it will trigger a campaign in RoofLeadPro to send out a review request campaign that says, hey, thank you so much for your business. We really appreciate it. Could you please go here and leave us a review? And then you're gonna just by virtue of asking for the review, you're going to get way more reviews, because people want to leave you a good review. They just don't think about it. They just don't, and it's too much of a hassle. They got to go on and find you and then put you down. But if you ask and genuinely say, hey, I really appreciate it, I hope we did a great job, and then you can also kind of slow down bad reviews. You're not allowed to ask for you can't just send the link to people